again, where when I pushed start, it took quite a while for it to actually load a preview, but we're here. We should be good. How you guys doing? I know it's been a little bit. Welcome to the Thursday live stream. We got some stuff to go over today, which should be pretty fun. Hold on 1 second, though. 1 second. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's been as you can see, it's very hectic running around. Yeah, lots of stuff from Fender Japan and lots of other little updates going on here. But I'm going to say hello to everybody. We have a new kind of mic setup here, so I'm not sure if it's going to need much tweaking, but on my end, it's good. However, you're going to have to let me know if the volume's good. David, oh boy, this is going to be great. I certainly hope so. I do. I've already seen everything, obviously, and I've seen even a few more that haven't been posted yet, but it's pretty good. Mark Lefert, it's like guitar porn. Since Fender doesn't allow new instruments exported directly from Japan, it's pretty much you can look but you can't touch. It actually gets worse than that. We'll get into that in a minute. Matt, in other news, FedEx seemed determined to do everything in their power to ensure that you can't get it. Well, that sounds like FedEx, and I believe it. It's all of the brands. UPS lost my Dove that I fully insured, and that was months of hell, and then eventually just randomly showed up one day. I hope that doesn't happen to you. Rubbish Guitar Bloke, happy tea time. Hello. How are you? I apologize. I believe you're English. I know some of you are English in here. I told you in the beginning of the tournament. I said England are trash. They're terrible, they're overhyped, they're garbage. And just like every other entitled, spoiled thing in this world, they get the easiest draw despite not deserving it. Oh, don't get me started on the football. Nice emote, Dad. Hi, Marcus, Deb, Rob, Tony, Daniel, Paul. All right. So, Fender Japan this year, we'll jump right into this, and then we'll get into all the other stuff that's going on so we can get right to the point, so to speak, right? Fender Japan, annually, just like Fender USA, they have new models, but typically you find more custom colors in Fender Japan, especially on desirable guitars. In the case of Fender America, what you're going to find is a lot of standard Mexican guitars, like the Player Series or the Player Pluses. Those are the ones that seem to get the special runs, and they're either available directly through Fender themselves or through Guitar Center. So and they're typically just Strats, Tellys, and then a few basses here and there. With the guitars, not so much. But in Japan, that's not the case. They actually take care of multiple different instruments. We have a few to go over. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into the first one that we saw onto the stream, which was that pink custom Telecaster. Right after I just say hello one more time, one more person I missed. You're digging the long hair. As a baldy, I'm jealous. Did you see Austria won their group with France? I loved it. I loved it. I saw you supporting Austria in that tie. I loved it. I saw you mocking Robert Lewandowski. He deserves it. He sucks. Let's get right into the fun stuff. Okay, so starting off with this guy. Now, you're going to look at this price, and you're going to be like, what does that mean, Jim? Well, depends on if you're in Great British Pounds or if you're in US dollars. 140,000 yen to US dollars as of today is under $900. So this is just giving you an idea of what's on offer if you were to live in Japan and you could just walk into a store with money in your hand. This is what you could get if you paid full price. It'd be under $900, right? Okay. So this one's got the U-neck on it. This one's got a poly finish. This one has got this specific one has an absolutely beautiful rosewood board. The body is basswood and CTS pots, all this kind of other good stuff. It's got a modern radius on it, it is what it is. A lot of guitars come with these days. And the U shape, which a lot of people can confuse the U from Fender Japan with the U you would find on something like a 50 spec American or Mexican made Telecaster. They're vastly different. Vastly different. These are nowhere near as big and chunky as those. It's just kind of how they label it. The nut is a little bit slimmer on these, which you're going to find on all of these guitars that we're going to look at today to varying degrees, coming in at 41 millimeters. Very, very comfortable stuff, and it comes with the dreaded normal Fender Japan gig bag. But under $900 for a double-bound Telecaster in a gorgeous shell pink. And one thing that I've noticed they started to do this late last year as well. On the guitars that have binding to designate that they are custom Telecasters, they didn't always say custom Telecaster on the headstock. That was reserved for the American models. They now have them on the Japanese ones. I thought that was great. Next one. This is super cool. It's a double-bound Burgundy Mist. Now, you don't typically find maple on a double-bound Telecaster. It's kind of like custom shop only. Never really a production thing. But this isn't a one-off. This comes with custom shop, no caster pickups on it. And I think it works if it wants to load. I think the whole thing kind of works a lot. So custom shop pickups, a nice maple neck, it's a laminated maple neck, and Burgundy Mist. What more do you want in the world, right? And I also think this one is an alder body, not a basswood one. Yeah, it's alder. It's alder. So that's really cool. And that one is 156, so 20,000 yen more. Still under $1,000. And this is all pre-shipping, of course. And that's what you get from there. Do we have anything comparable from that in America or in Europe available to us? Absolutely not. Why would we? And then we get into the fun stuff, which is more of the boring stuff, honestly. Stratocasters, their FSRs this year are in the new hybrid colors, which we're going to be seeing in a second. And also in these, you're going to see the shell pink is going to be a recurring theme. Recently, I had a shell pink Jaguar FSR, and it seems like they like to do things in kind of bulk. Like they'll pick a few custom colors, and they'll go from there. So Dakota Red is a color you're going to see pop up more often outside of just this guitar. I only have this one really loaded for that purpose, although I'm always a huge fan of the big 70s headstock. I think it looks awesome on Strats. I really do. And this one's basswood as well, and more of a kind of like an entry-ish level thing going on with it, for Fender Japan at least. 147,000 yen, so right around 900 US dollars before shipping. This is a hybrid. This is one of the new finishes that was just released in the last week and a half. Okay, 150,000 yen, so we just about the same price as the one we just looked at. Okay, this has got very modern appointments on it. It's got the satin neck as opposed to the other ones that are going to have a gloss poly. This one has a tummy cut on it. All the hybrid Telecasters are going to come with tummy cuts on them. Some people like that, some people loathe it. However, it does come with a 3-barrel bridge, which is not something that's always common with modern Telecasters. A lot of the ones that are modern spec, they're going to come with, the 6 intonatable saddles on them. 4-way switching is standard on these, and there's also models available with a rosewood fingerboard on them. Yeah, really cool. 9.5-inch radius and very light, that one. Oh man, 3.32 kilos. That's really light. And vintage locking tuners, which is the same as the normal hybrid spec. And then we get into this one. This is where I start getting into angry, Jim. Because we don't have stuff like this, like period, available to us at any price in America. And it just pisses me off. Because this is affordable. At 160,000 yen, under $1,000, you get a matching headstock Lake Placid Blue Jaguar. Now, is this like my ideal Fender Jaguar? No, there's a few things I would change on it for sure. However, it's an option for them. The traditional is a mainstay in their lineup. And they at least offer other colors. Similar things to what we talked about. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of recurring things. 9.5-inch radius with a U-shaped neck. They got the number of frets wrong because this is a 22 fret guitar. but lightweight. This one has a basswood body and all CTS and Switchcraft components on it. Under $1,000. It's freaking remarkable, isn't it? Freaking remarkable. Next. Okay, we already kind of went over the Dakota Red version of the same exact guitar. This one's just available in shell pink. Like I said, we have patterns here. So we're seeing shell pink. We're seeing Dakota Red. Lake Placid Blue. And then you have the new finish. This is the Larimar, also known as the Celeste Blue. This is the hybrid edition of the Jazzmaster. So all the modern stuff I just talked about with the Telecaster applies here, except one other difference between the hybrid Jazzmasters and the traditional Jazzmasters. This one does not have a rhythm circuit on it. The original hybrid Jazzmasters had rhythm circuits. These newer ones, they do not. So you're just going to get the three-way toggle at the position where the rhythm circuit normally would be, and then nothing on the treble side of the pick guard there. So yeah, it's really cool, but the only thing I find disappointing is only available in a maple neck from what I'm seeing. I don't love that. I think that finish with maple is nice, but with rosewood it would be to die for. And that's 170,000 yen. We got 2 left, and then I'm going to check the comments. Same color as before. We were just talking about the orange transparent. This is another FSR color for the hybrid series. It's the same exact guitar spec-wise we just looked at with a different finish. That's it. That's an easy one. And last but not least, we got this, which is really cool. It's a hybrid too, but it's got a humbucker in the neck, which isn't something you see all that often. It's not the first time they've done this, but I appreciate when they do that. And it's an Olympic pearl, so it's going to have a little bit more of a kind of shine to it. I don't know how well it's going to translate in the pictures here. You can kind of see it a little bit. However, yeah, good stuff. And that comes in again under $900 US. Expect to see other colors of this guitar popping up very shortly. The Jaguar, as well as the Jazzmaster. That's all I will say about that. But now you see what they cost. Haha, I've ruined the game. Or have I? And that's our overview of Fender Japan. Let's see what's going on. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Chad, that's pretty. No idea what one you're talking about because I just went through all of them at once. I just wanted to get it all out there because I know some people, when they watch these videos, they're really interested in just seeing the meat and potatoes, and who knows, maybe I'll be lazy and I'll do what other people on YouTube do, and I'll take that and just use it as an individual clip, post it as its own video. Hey, Daniel, stoked for the rundown. I hope it was good. You also like the fat 70s headstock. Dude, I think they're great. I think they're awesome. I think it looks so cool. The 70s Fenders as a whole get such a bad rap, but the big headstock I think is really cool. I don't think it's, I don't know, if I had to pick, I guess it depends on the guitar, but on a Strat, I don't mind it at all. I think I might prefer it. Not so much on a Jaguar, but on a Strat, I like it a lot. That Jag is hot. Yeah, the Jag is really, it's a beaut. It's a beaut. Don't be surprised you see more of them. And, well, they already had the shell pink run, so that color was already done. Dakota Red will be next. Very shortly. Somewhere we'll have them. Somewhere. Hi, this is offered at Ishibashi. Yeah, that was the website we were just on. That's correct. Outside of the other one we were at, Digimart, where we were looking at Rockin' Nagoya. I want a black Strat from Japan, likely my next guitar purchase. 70s, 60s, 50s. Got a lot to choose from. You would love the Celeste Blue on a Jaguar. Yeah, they didn't include that finish on Jags this year. I mean, we should just be very grateful that Fender Japan acknowledged that model exists. And that they do offer, anything with it at all. Because we're really slim pickings in the West with this Fender Jaguar. You have the Squires. You have the Players, which are, they're nothing like Jaguars outside of the scale length. You have the Vinteras, where you only have the option now of a maple board and 2 colors. And then you have to jump all the way up to a Johnny Marr. And then that's not anything I have any interest in. And I'm not going to be the dead horse. However, it's not a traditional Jaguar at all. Outside of the neck radius and the scale length. I'd swap everything else on the guitar. It just sucks. Sucks. Wish Fender USA would, acknowledge the offset players. And as much as I'm sitting here whining about the Jaguar, think about the people that love Mustangs. You got nothing. You got nothing. And in Fender Japan just there, did you see any FSRs for the Mustangs? Because I haven't. They had some last year towards the end of the year, so there's still hope. Maybe after the summer, we will see some special run Mustangs from Japan. But as of right now, they are really the most ignored of the offsets. The 3 major ones, at least. Shelping Strat, double bound, burgundy mist telly. I love that telly. The burgundy mist one. I love that. I love that. I'd love it more with a rosewood board. Just being honest. But it works with the maple. Man, this is depressing. I always see 2000s made in Japan on reverb going for 1,600 to 2,000 euros. We can get into a larger discussion about all that stuff momentarily, but yeah. Where's the Mustangs? Yeah, unfortunately, I saw your comment after I said it, but that's where they are. But, I mean, at least they still have the standard models. You can get them in Ollie White. You can get them still in Sonic Blue. I believe that's it. I believe those are the only 2 production colors they're currently making Mustangs in 2024. Fender Japan. But it's something. It's something. You love the 70s headstock on a Mustang. Oh, I love that a lot too. I ever played a Cyclone. Might save up for one. I've never played a Cyclone. I'd love to try one. I've never played one. You're almost done paying off your Les Paul and already have a big in my butt for a Strat. That sounds funny. Would love a vintage white blonde rosewood, but only see them in custom shops. Considering an Ultra, love the necks. I like the neck on the Ultra a lot. That's the same neck that's on the Corey Wong. That's a sweet one. Ideally, I'd like an Ultra, the neck, and then like a body from something that has nitro on it. Like an American Original 60 Strat. You throw it on one of those. I think that'd be pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. I know. Now I know I knew what you meant, but when I read it out loud for the first time, I was like, what? I was like, what are you trying to say? You can't do rosewood on Fender? For bolt-ons, you prefer maple? Even for, Silver Skies are their guitars. If you notice, I have one maple neck guitar. They're all rosewood or ebony outside of that. I'd say 90% of rosewood. And the majority of those guitars I have are Fenders. I don't know. Maple gets too dirty. Like, really quick on the fingerboard. And I'm sliding all the time. Like, if I was playing cowboy chords and not, like, playing, like so much funk and, like, a lunatic sloppily, maybe I wouldn't have so much dirt built up. But the maple, it really shows it. With the rosewood, it hides it a little bit better. It doesn't like trigger my OCD. Do you think Fender will still release a road-worn Vintera 2 series? Yeah, I think they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. They're probably going to be really expensive, though. Actually, I think they already did. I think they already did that. Hold on. Let me just do a quick... Hold on. I think that we looked at this. We did. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up just for full on kind of transparency here. And now look at the price differences. Okay. Oh, this is me trying not to lose my ever loving stuff here. $18.49. You could buy this, and you can get it in May of 2025. More coming soon. They sold out and they're not going to be more until next year. Okie dokie. Any other ones that are Telly? What do you got? May of 2025. Oh my God. And look at that finish. I know we're all different. I know we all have different tastes. You spend $2,000 on a guitar that looks like that. That's an atrocious relic job. That's an atrocious relic job. Not all of them are that bad. That thing looks like junk. I'm sorry. Well, if you want it, though, you got to wait till 2025. Jesus. God. Okay. Let me get out of here before I have a fit. Am I the only one that feels like that? I feel like that's just beyond overkill. That's beyond overkill. Anyway. Ooh, there have been some special run. Road Warren released this year. Yeah, there have. Just checking in. You look tired? Oh, you have no idea. It's more than tired. I'm falling apart. I am completely falling apart. And it's not been a smooth move. It's just a lot of stress, man. That's all. And I'm selling a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you went to my Reverb. There's a lot for sale. And there's going to be even more. I know sometimes I say that and then some stuff's already sold. Tonking's gone. Bye. I shipped that out. Shipped out a guitar yesterday. The Gibson ES335 is for sale. Somebody has that in their cart. The JV is still for sale. I'm pricing that more aggressively. I'm probably going to sell the Corey Wong Strat. I'm probably going to sell 2 or 3 Tellys. I might even sell the Schecter if one of you want that. And what else? Yeah, I'm going to get it down to about 6 or so. Not including the Gold Jazzmaster. I don't count that because I don't really play it that much. But yeah, and I sold some pedals and I don't know. Figuring it out. Don't need all this stuff. Don't need all of it. Sean, you want to hear something crazier? I initially listed the Lester with it. But I made I was gonna make a video about this. But I'll just do it here because I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. Honestly, and I don't want to make promises I can't keep. That one was listed for about 24 hours. Well, it was either last night or the night before. Honestly, the days run together at this point. I'm so tired. But I decided to sit with it. The 59. I played it for about 2 minutes, and all I could think to myself is like, no. Even if you have to sell like 4 other guitars. No. You keep that one. That's probably the best guitar I have. Honestly. I love the Telly, the JV Telly. I really do. But like, that 59 Les Paul. No. So I took it down. Thank God it didn't sell in that 24 hours. It's $650, $750 higher than the Ventera Road Warrens. They were $1,100 to $1,200. That is the same price increase as custom shop guitars. Well, welcome to it, man. That's what happens, dude. It's all out of control. But this is the perspective and why I wanted to lead with Fender Japan. Hold on. I saved you guys. I noticed it on the screen. It was going to play ads. The reason I wanted to show you the Fender Japan stuff and also to make sure I was giving you ballpark pricing was to show you how badly we're getting ripped off here for, in my opinion, lesser quality on top of like double the price. Like, I don't even think it's close. I really don't. We're paying so much money now. And I think now, again, this is dumb idiot Jim because, you know, obviously I get a percentage when people buy stuff new, you know, like because if they use the affiliate links. So I should tell you, yes, this guitar is worth every penny, and you should buy all of them at full price without doing anything at Tolman or Sweetwater or whatever it is, right? And even like the Harley Benton, it would have been in my best interest, even though it's not worth anything. It's like $400 and they're sold out, just to give it like a glaring review, because then more people would potentially buy it. Because if I say negative things, that's not good. But if I see negative stuff, or I don't believe the quality is up to where I would want it to be, regardless of the brand, I'm not going to lie to you. And that cost me. But the Japanese offer better product for substantial, and it's not like it's a little bit less money. It's substantially less money to just make better guitars. And it's not like I haven't tried them all. Look at the history of just this YouTube channel. I honestly, I fear the number of guitars that have been in and out of my hands from buying and selling them. It's got to be at least 200 to 300 in the span of 3.5 years. So, like, a lot of them don't even make it onto the channel because they're in and out. Or I'm like, I already made a video on that model. Why am I going to make another hybrid Telecaster or traditional Jazzmaster? You know, I don't feel the need to always make videos on them. But it's not close. And the fact that the attention to detail and the quality control is exponentially better than even Fender America. Just better. And I pay less? You're telling me all I have to do is put in half an effort to reach out to some of these shops in Japan? Half an effort? It's sad. That Schecter is awesome. Yeah. I agree with you. It's awesome. But if push comes to shove and you're asking me would I rather keep a Schecter and then like 2 other guitars that are about the same price, like $1,500, right? Or would I rather sell 3 of that level and keep the 59? I know some people will think I'm crazy because you could do more with different sounds with 3 other ones. It's not like, to me, it's not a thought. The joy I get from playing that one is, no, that's the best guitar I have. Come on, enter, Alan, stop it. I thought your boy Cole Palmer was good. Why wasn't Southgate playing him at all? And then when he finally gets in a match, gets a little run out for 20 minutes? That was a pathetic shot. Although every time he had the ball, he was doing something. He should be starting. I don't like Bakare Saka. I don't think he's that good. I think he's severely overrated. Ian Wright wants to put him at left back, though. I got to laugh out of that. I would never buy Fender today. Never buy them new. Buy them used, I would consider. The only brand I would buy new out of any major manufacturer in this country is Gibson. I'll never buy another PRS. Never. I hate those guitars. You can only try to fit a square peg into a round hole so many times before you have to start saying, it's just not a match. You don't like them, that's fine. So they're off the table, off the bat. And Fender USA, they make the models I like the most. Like, because I prefer, like, Fender guitar shapes to Gibson guitar shapes. But I don't trust them, and their pricing's terrible. For that money, I'll go to Fender Japan. Or I'll go to Divisor and get a Momose. Or I'll buy a Van Zandt. Hell, I'll buy a early 80s, late 70s Tokai. And I'll feel so much more secure that I'm getting a quality product. And it's not that Fender America can't do it. It's just a dice roll. I don't want to roll the dice when you're charging me this much money. A road-worn Mexican Strat is almost after tax, that'd be $2,000 guitar. And that looks like that, and that's that. I'm sorry, no, you're nuts. You're nuts. I could get 2 of those Japanese guitars we just looked at, 2 of them, and then if I wanted to sell one, probably pays for the other one. Wild. It's wild. Why do I hate PRS? They just don't work. They just don't work. Not for me. They don't work. So much of what I do relies on a clean, like a good clean tone. No, not a good, I'm lying. A great clean tone. That's the baseline of everything I have. It's like, it's all, like, I choose my pickups, my guitars, everything is based on, first and foremost, I need to have a great clean tone. With humbuckers, I can get a great clean tone with the Gibsons. With the PRS, you split the coils, you get this half-assed Fender sound. I just watched Henning make a video about why being honest is stupid and being honest costs you money. And here I am being an idiot. Anyways, I digress. Those pickups are trash. Like, they're not good. They're super expensive. He can say whatever he wants to me, clean. They don't have it. They don't have it. It's not even close. And if you're going to spend on a core, non-bolt-on PRS, new, I think the lowest price one now is $4,600. It's damn near close to that. And you're telling me I'm immediately ripping out I'm immediately going to be like, those pickups are going to go? And that's just the first kind of thing I don't like about them. No, thank you. I actually think that the hardware, I don't like the hardware either. Because they don't ring in the same way that my ears are tuned to. And again, this might just be not a match. I'm not saying they're bad guitars. I don't want you to get this misunderstood. I've never said they're bad guitars. If anything, quality control-wise, they're the best of the three. So if you just want something that looks pretty or over the top and is going to have the best odds of having high quality control on it, then yeah, they're the best of the three between Fender, Gibson, and Paul Reed Smith in the United States. I'll give them that. They just don't do anything for me. They just don't do anything for me. Less said the better. I've said too much. Anyway, you got your 64 335. Thought I didn't need it. Then I played it. I'm like, no, I'm getting buried with it. Dude, that's where I'm at with the other one. Not many guitars give me that, like that feeling. But honestly, I was thinking just like in terms of this. And that one, obviously, if this is the number one thing here, that one has to be considered for obvious reasons. But no way. The best YouTuber is the guitarist in the UK. The guitarist in the UK. Alan, you all right? Tells the truth and he buys the products. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a good one. It's a good way to do it. It's just financial suicide. I don't think you guys understand it, how terrible the pay is on here. And to continually just upload brand new thing. First of all, I'd go insanely bored because in order to get the clicks, you have to buy a lot of guitars that you might not necessarily like, but that are popular. And you're going to lose money on it if you're buying it all out of pocket. There's no way. Can't do it. You were thinking about selling your Ventura Road Warrant since you can't put the custom shop down. Yeah, that's a good strategy, Greg. Just hold on to it until you need it. Serbia. Good morning. Music will save the world. We can only pray so. That'll be the case. You got both JV Strats, the Tellys, and you mean the new JVs? I was like, I'm like, what do you mean you got both JVs? I'm like, there were a lot of JVs. The reissues, which are not really reissues, they're very different from the originals, but they're good guitars. Under $800, well done. I just went over PRS. Don't want to do that again. You've got the $499 satin PRS, and I'm impressed. That guitar is literally no better than any Harley Benton. I have B-roll from myself playing that guitar in Guitar Center and just being like, You're joking me, right? And maybe part of it is just the fact that many people haven't played Harley Benton's, but the Fusion 3 Harley Benton sounded better and felt better than those PRS guitars that I played. I'm just trying to see if I could find it real quick. Do I have me sitting down with it? No. I just take footage of when I'm in guitar stores, just because in the back of my head I'm like, well, maybe I'll turn it into a YouTube video. I'm already at the guitar store. But no, I sat with them. And I was like, those ones felt like junk. The one I liked was the S.E. McCarty 594 single cut. That was the one I thought was the best of the PRS guitars that I played at that day. You need a FSR Mustang guitar and a bass. Mustang bass would be sweet. You know one thing about PRS, always buy used or new at 50 to 60% off. I agree. I would never, ever, ever buy a new PRS. Ever again. I wouldn't recommend you do it either. Even if you love the brand, I still wouldn't do it. It's the amount of loss you take immediately. It's worse than a freaking BMW, like a 3 Series, not a high-end one. It's like a 3 Series. You buy a PRS, you instantly lose so much. So if you don't love it, or it's just not something that gels with you, which was the case with me and the McCarty over the long term, and I tried to get that guitar to work for me. I tried. That's a beautiful instrument. No. It's a lot of money. You have 23 guitars, but the two I always go to are the Casino and the Dan Electro 59. Well, then there you go. That's all that matters. You play what makes you happy. And I know that this is going to get taken out of context, like I was just ranting about that brand for the sake of ranting, but I mean, I was directly asked. So, again, I could be honest to a fault. Guitaristas. Oh, that makes more sense. I was going to say, oh, that one guitarist. Oh, that one guitarist in the UK. I trust that guy's reviews. Be like, okay. I don't know who you're talking about. You're officially a Made Japan Mustang guy. I'm selling all my electrics except the Mustang and the Gibson Melody Maker. I love Melody Makers. Those are fun little lightweight guitars. They're cool. Well, congratulations. You figured it out, Chad. Good for you, man. Good on you. Howdy, Mark. How are you, sir? You just joined. What did you miss? Congratulations if you care about hockey. Oh, that's wrong. No, I do care about hockey, and that's not a congratulatory thing. Just because I live in Florida does not mean I like the Florida Panthers. As a matter of fact, I'm a New York Rangers fan, so quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. I was really hoping Edmonton was going to really complete the miracle. They did not. Unfortunate. The smile after I said Gibson. Well, that's the thing you can't put a price on now, can you? It's like, I'll show you guys something else, right? Some of you are going to be like, what the hell is he doing? I got these, right? These are Japanese Pokemon cards that you can't get in America. The look on my kid's face when she gets a card of a Pokemon she really likes, it don't matter if the card is worth 4 pennies or $400. It don't matter. That to me is like that pure joy. That's the thing I get when I play the Gibson. That's the thing I get. And no, I didn't buy these for myself. We're selling a bunch of stuff at a farmer's market, and we're actually starting a second YouTube channel. So this should be a lot of fun. Matter of fact, I will show you guys. I'll make a community post about it. My wife she makes piñatas, and I said, why don't you make it for a Pokemon? She's like, that's a great idea. It's not like I don't have enough cardboard for guitar boxes. And she just finished a Snorlax. And I'm telling you, I couldn't believe how good it was. Like, I knew it'd be good. You know, and even if it was bad, you tell your wife she did a good job. It's great. So, yeah, I bought those Japanese ones because just like with guitars, except it costs way less money, I buy them, I sell them individually, I make money, kids get things that they can't normally buy at the local farmer's market, and everybody wins. And then we get to keep a free box for ourselves out of all of it. Because if you think that's the only box I bought, you'd be wrong. I bought a bunch. Oh, man. 25th anniversary TE25 was amazing. You pity the fool that missed that release. The 25th anniversary is probably like my favorite run they've ever done. Across the board. They really knocked it out with that one. They really did. I actually have the Harley Benton for sale, and I'm still back and forth on it. It's on Reverb right now. And I'm going to take a loss on it if it sells. But I don't know. I was just kind of rubbed the wrong way with that one. And I genuinely, regardless, if you just handed me that and then you handed me the Fusion 3 back to back, the 25th anniversary, the Fusion 3 is a much better guitar. It was a better built guitar. It felt nicer. Not that the ST Modern is bad, but I feel like the best guitars Harley Benton has ever made were those 25th anniversaries. Oh, Markleford, here's the thing about it and why Pokemon was a great idea. You don't hit them. There's a little lever on the bottom you pull to get the candy out. They're not made for that. They're a different style of piñata. So I thought that was pretty cool. Playing authentic. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm not opposed to playing other brands. I got the Schecter Junior. I got the 77. I got a Cruise Les Paul. That thing's great. All these are for sale except for the 77. I'm not selling that one either. The Albatross. It doesn't have to be Gibson. But that 159? Yeah. It's that good. It's that good. Who would I compare it to? To any of you who watched football. Not Ronaldinho at Barca. But like Ronaldinho after, when he played for Milan and he was having more fun because there was less pressure and less of a toxic kind of environment. Like the joy he had and the joy he brought to the game, the smiles you would have watching him, that's the joy I get from the Gibson. Here I am just with the Gibson love. I have one, and I have one electric and the Dove. I'm selling the other one. Let me see. The Made in Japan Gretches are fantastic. Yeah, they're really great, man. I agree. I value your opinion more than other YouTubers who have more than 10K subscribers. You call balls and strikes. Well, you have to. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, it will never work if you agree with anyone on anything. It's a matter of expressing your opinion and having like a reason for it, being able to kind of explain why you feel that way. And if you can do that in a civil manner, like, because we've had lots of talks, like, you love red SGs. I don't care. I'm not going to say, oh, you play trash. You sound good to you. They work for you. Who the hell am I? But I'm going to call a spade as far as quality goes 100% of the time. That's just... Money is not great for a lot of people in this world. Even us, compared to some other times. Not getting evicted anytime soon or anything like that, but like, I mean, just around the world. Obviously, everything just keeps somehow raising up in price and we're not getting paid more money. So something's got to give. So when it comes to me being able to potentially help people make the best purchase they can to get the most for their money, I'd rather be honest than lie. Even if it costs me a few stupid affiliate links. Because at the end, the grand scheme of things, then you're going to buy it. Because, okay, say I lied, right? Say I say whatever guitar is great and you got to go buy it. And you all believe me and you all go buy it. And really, I thought the thing sucked. And I thought, the neck on this is crap. The pickups are crap. The electronics feel so cheap. But I told you otherwise. You would happen to get the guitar. You would figure it out immediately. You'd be like, this thing sucks. Did I get a defect? And then you'd look online and other people would be like, this thing sucks. What the hell? Are we all lied to? And then you'd say, oh, who told me it was great? Oh, this guy did. I'm never freaking listening to him ever again. That guy's just paid garbage. He was just looking out for himself. It would never work. It can never work. You can't do it like that. It's not sustainable unless you're like too big to fail. And there are some channels that are too big to fail. We're talking in the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They can get away with it. But when you're around my size, 10,000 subs? Hell no, I'd lose my whole base. And I'm not doing that. Link to my reverb? I'd rather you go to my shop. That's the shop. And then just, I believe it's this Audiomo music. You know what? I'll get the official link just so I'm not. There it is. I have more I got to list up right now. Look at this. And then my pet peeve is happening where somebody is, I'm just going to leave something in my cart like it's Amazon. There you go. You guys want anything on there? If it's not listed on the shop, obviously I'll sell it for less, just like I did with the Tone King yesterday. Somebody sent me an email, and he got away with a lower price, and I got away with a better deal for me too. So literally everyone wins because Reverb's fees are outrageous. They're stupid. Do you have an issue with dust covering uncovered guitars around in the room? Do you cover those racks? No, I do not cover them. I have a brush that I go around with, and I was looking for it because I just had it out. It's somewhere around here. But no, I go around with a brush just to find, like, not coarse. Like, it's almost like a makeup brush. It's like really, really light. I just give them a little dust once in a while. And then it's good because, too, if you get one of those style brushes, you can get in between the hardware. And then at the headstock, if you have like a Gibson in between the pegs, no problem. Good stuff. That's how I do it. I mean football, Burl. I mean football with your feet. With your feet. In American hand egg, you throw an egg and you run with it while it's in your hands. The only thing your feet do in that game is run, outside of when the guy is punting the ball to retreat possession, or, here you go, Blickett, I'm canceling another ad. With punting the ball, or he's kicking the ball between two uprights. That anybody that plays professional football could easily do a field goal kicker's job. You nuts? You nuts? Hey, Thomas, don't worry about it. You think you finished your collection of Japanese guitars? Just got the off says. Is it worth spending the extra for a vintage Mustang? Think of a 65 or a 66. What? Why do you want it, man? Worth it is a different question. Why? I'd love to have a 64 Jaguar that was like 7.5 pounds with an A-stamped neck, a little bit narrower. I'd love that in a custom color. But why? Is it just to complete a collection or a dream guitar? I mean, not to say your reasoning wouldn't be valid or not, but that's just something you got to ask yourself. And that's not cheap. You're not talking about a $200 Amazon guitar at that point. You're talking about a vintage Fender Mustang. Could be worse. You'd be talking about a vintage Strat or a vintage Tele of that era, and you're going to be putting the zero on the end of whatever you're spending. But, yeah. If you're happy with what you have, don't bother. If you happen to run into one in the shop that you really like, and it's in the right place at the right time, and it feels good in your hands, and you have the money, address it at that point. I also don't recommend buying vintage guitars blind. At all. I'm not into that. There's a lot that can go wrong if you don't know exactly what you're looking at. 22.5-inch scale 64 is still a dream guitar. The super short ones, yeah, those are cool. I like those. In the 90s, and that's the thing, like, Fender screw up so many little details. Fender USA. I don't understand it. Like, the Duosonics, the modern ones now, they're 24-inch scale length. Why? Why? Why are they like that? Well, they're like that because it's easier to produce more of them so you can sell more of them. and then claim it's a different model with slightly different electronics than a Mustang. But really, in the early 90s, Fender Mexico were making Duosonics with the even shorter scale length. And that was really like point of differentiation between that and what else is available. And right now, the same thing is open. The door is open for them to do that with these Mexican Duosonics. Just make those with a shorter scale neck, and then you're really making product separation between that and your Mustang. Because their player Mustangs don't have the dynamic vibrato. It's a hardtail anyways. So is the Duosonic. Why not have one with the even shorter scale length? And that might appeal to more younger players too, or smaller people, because it's a lot more comfortable. What do I know? I'm just an idiot on the internet that knows how to buy guitars better from Japan. I wonder how many people you've converted turned on to Japanese guitars. I don't know. Hopefully a bunch. Yeah. You were thinking it might be a cool engagement present because your partner loves them. She has a whole bunch of made in Japan Mustangs, and a matching blue Dakota set would be great. You're marrying into a musician, are you? Congratulations. It's cool she likes guitars, though. Especially offsets. You have a band together? Or you do things separate? You just jam? Anyways. Alright, dude, this hour flew by today. This hour flew by. Do have some good news and some other things. I'm not going to be able to hit on something that I thought I might have time to today that was mentioned by Sean. And that was somebody recently made a thing that went like semi-viral where a bunch of people sent me it that broke down all the pricing of directly from Japan. Not too dissimilar to what I just did today. And stuff that I've done for years on this channel, including making an entire guide video showing people how to do it, showing you exactly how to buy them from Japan, which I have now made members only. Not because I'm selfish or greedy like that, but because I didn't want to take it down, and I didn't want to leave it up, though, for the public, because shops figured it out, and I actually made the problem worse. I was going to comment on that video and give some perspective on my thoughts on all of that years later, because I can understand where he's coming from, but there's a lot of hypocrisy in a lot of things, and I've been guilty of it in the past as well. I'm going to make a whole video just on that, because I don't need a guitar to do it. Outside of that, I was going to say tomorrow is going to be about older product. Well, it's not older, but it's not new. We have a Torpedo Captor X now from Two Notes. Part of the reason I haven't been able to do anything, or I haven't done anything for YouTube since we moved. First of all, we're moving. Second of all, that amp is just entirely too loud. Straight up. Like, it's not like the old house at all, where I was like separate from everybody and the walls were perhaps thicker or something. Like, I never bothered anybody playing, even at volume in the old house. So miking things up was never an issue. Here, can't do it. So I've had that now for about a week. You're going to learn what I really think about it, and you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it with a Les Paul, because of course you're going to hear it with a Les Paul. I mean, I've gleamed over this stupid thing all stream. And two Fender guitars. Obviously a Telecaster. And an offset guitar. So that'll be it for tomorrow. And I'm going to try to at least get back to 2 videos a week and a stream until I can really settle in and get into a routine. We're close as far as the house being where we need it to be as a whole. But it's been so much. Not to make an excuse. My family and us being comfortable and all that is a priority. But I'll read some last comments before I get out of here. I was thinking, oh yeah, you got that one. You have a Quilter Aviator Cub USA here trying it out. It's decent. Sounds good with humbuckers or P90s. 20 pounds and really loud. You're looking for a portable gigging amp. It's not tube. But do you have any other options? How loud do you need to get? What venues are you playing? Small, medium? I'm assuming. Probably maximum a few hundred people, right? You have some options, but if you're happy with what you have, just run it to the front of house. Run a feed to the front of house. You keep your stage volume, and then just, yeah, take a direct feed out. The quilters have that, right? If I'm not mistaken, the quilters will have that, where you can run it through your cab, and then you send a separate DI or emulated output to FOH, and you're good. Squire Mini Jazz Masters have a 22.7. I might buy one and mod the electronics and pickups. What do you think? I would, if you're going to do that, you're looking at the wrong things to mod. The first thing I would be modifying on one of those Mini Jazz Masters is all of the hardware, because you need really high quality hardware to make sure it's going to be stable. That's the first thing. Yeah. After that, once you make sure the guitar is stable, maybe also buy a bone nut for it too. Yeah, that's what I would do. I buy one of those ones. You want to screw with it, have fun. Get a bone nut in, slot it properly for the correct gauge of string that you want to use on it. I wouldn't go with 9s on that scale length. I would use at least 10s or 11s. And good hardware. After that, tune to taste. Enjoy, have fun. All you want is to have real perspective. Otherwise, they're a con man. I hear you, man. You had a 66 Jazz through the 90s and loved it, but playing any custom shop in the past decades, it's just as satisfying in most cases and less stressful because they're not as priceless as vintage. I hear it, dude. It's a great point. It's a great point, Greg. It really is. And you don't have that fear. Like, unless you're buying from a legitimate store, in which case you're going to pay for it. You want to buy a vintage guitar at Carter's Guitars? I trust them 100%. But my God, you're going to pay. You're going to pay top dollar for that. And there's not many places that are, on that tier of trust. And when you're buying something in that price range, I'd almost rather spend a few extra grand. In some cases, $5,000 to $10,000 if I was a collector or I was somebody who wanted something from that era and I wanted it to be an investment. I don't trust Bob Donuts on Reverb, who bought it from CME 3 years ago, or whatever. I don't trust any of that. I that's just me personally. If you do, that's great. I would only do any of that stuff in person. But that's going to be it. Small venues, you're used to tubes. You know what you buy, my friend? You buy an old Champ. A silver face Champ from the 70s, and you mic it up. That's all. The end. And if you say a Champ's not enough for you, buy a Music Man. RD, but just one of the 1x12s. RD65, something like that. You're never going to have problems as far as clean tones go. Excellent sounding with pedals. And they're built like tanks. As far as new at an affordable price, there's not much I can recommend. They're all built to fail. Doesn't matter what the brand is. The cheaper stuff. The tube end of the spectrum. Now, I didn't know Black Star apparently stole Blue Guitar's idea to the T. That's a whole thing we got to get into. But it can't happen today. I got to get going. Thank you all. I will try to sleep. I know when I look visibly tired and you guys are commenting on the fact that I don't look so great, that's how I know. I got stuff to work on. So I'm going to eat. I try and finish this video up. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Euros. England, you're gone. I don't know when you're going to go. It's not going to be the next match because you got such an easy draw. But I can't wait to see you get crushed by the first good team you play. Southgate out. Goodbye.